In the last workshop, 6 months ago when you were here, the big theme you were talking about was daydreaming, and I really employed that a lot, and it has been fantastic for me. Is that a way of calibrating as well in these
Esther's
periods?
friend recently reminded her of a story that we used to tell about a cruise they took through the Panama Canal. And it was so fun to see because their big ship sailed into a lock, into a little ship jail. They were in bondage. And then water flooded in and raised the level of the ship to the level of the next lock. And then when it was properly calibrated, the lock opened and the ship just moved easily into the next. And then the door closed and they were in ship jail again, in bondage, while they calibrated upward. And then the lock opened and they sailed over again. So we like that analogy so much because here's, for example, the level of your inner being. And you may be on your way up. So as you meditate and join the frequency of your inner being, then the gate opens and what your inner being is about flows right into you, or what you are about flows right into that. In other words, now you are one and the same. And so
Sounds like chill just a little bit, like the ship isn't freaking out because it's in this temporary bondage. It's just allowing the process.
That really is the point that we are making, and we're happy that you articulated it so well. Rather than calling it bondage, we're playing with you and mocking you. And instead of feeling that you're in bondage, it's just the process while you're allowing yourself the pleasure and the luxury and the sureness of letting your vibration rise, because this process is a very well-working process. And as you allow your vibrational frequencies to rise, then you'll have access to everything that you want. So what were you saying right before we launched into that perfect analogy?
I don't exactly remember.
You don't remember because it was a frequency that no longer exists because the story calibrated you to a place that you can't remember it.
You know, I'm having so many experiences of everything working out for me, as you say, and I'm calibrated to that so much more on a level of knowing now that it's working out. It's, you know.
We say it all the time, let the universe surprise and delight you. And Esther would say, well, I get how I can be delighted, but I don't get how I can be surprised. If I'm the deliberate creator of my experience, why are there surprises? And we say, because of timing and because of the bigness and because of the plethora of things that can occur all in the same moment. You will never adjust to the awesomeness of what your inner being is holding in store for you. Every time you open that gate and let yourself go, it's going to be exciting for all of eternity.
Can I share a brief story with you? So you were talking about daydreaming last time, and I naturally started to create this daydream of working with like kind of a famous producer.
You didn't create the daydream.
I allowed it.
It flowed from
my vortex of working with like a famous producer, kind of a famous rock star kind of thing. And I just would enjoy it. It would come out of the blue and I just think about it. So I saw this wonderful songwriting workshop in Nashville and I applied for it. It was a big application, submitting demos, writing essays, and I wanted it so bad. And so anyways, I got the letter back and I was rejected. I was so upset I actually I cried.
Well, stop for a moment. We just want to play with you for a little bit. Because at that point, we know it evolved, but at that point, when you want something so bad, I wanted it so bad, and when it didn't happen, you felt so bad, that's a clue about what you were calibrated to.
Yeah. Does that mean I was calibrated to the possibility of it not happening, or just the neediness of this is the path? In my head, I thought,
when you want something
path.
So bad, it means your usual thought about it is not calibrated to where the success of it is. When you want something so bad that you can't stand it, there's a big gap between your usual vibration and what you really want. When it feels like the next logical step, you're calibrated right over there and you're ready for that lock to open, and there you are.
So this workshop was
that makes sense to you?
I'll finish. This workshop was going to be happening in November, my friend was also having a party the same weekend, so part of me said, okay, well, I can go to the party, and I'm looking forward to that. And he...
Calibrating to the party was different than calibrating to...
Yeah, it was a little easier. Because it didn't have so much, I didn't invest so much in it.
Yeah, let's not talk about why. We want you to focus on how it felt, not the reasons that it felt how it felt. You see what we're getting at? In other words, you were easy with that, and then what happened?
So and he always likes me to play at his parties, so I bring my guitar. So anyways, I go there, I walk in, and there's a rock star. And one that was just like, when I saw him, I'm like, oh my, I can't believe this guy is here. And if I had to think about it, if you said, you're going to audition for this guy, I would have been so nervous. But it just, all of a sudden, the whole experience of getting rejected from the thing and being able to go to the party, and the rock star that I've been daydreaming about is sitting in the party. And I start playing my music, and afterwards he comes up to me, he wants to know my name, and this is incredible, your music needs to be out in the world.
So when we say to you that your inner being knows where you are in relationship to what you want, and knows where your pockets of resistance are, and will guide you around your resistance right to what you want, once you know that, doesn't it make you
It's working out for me. It's like, wow. So anyways, it was the experience really that changed my whole awareness of everything's working out for me. You know, it was just my daydream manifest.
That's a point that we often make with all of you, that words don't teach. It's life experience that teaches. But when you have listened and felt and allowed yourself, by your willingness to play in any environment that helps your vibration to rise, and then you are able to make the association between the difference in your frequency and what happened next, now you've got it. Now you've got it. It's not about action. It's not about other people. It's only about what you've got going on and how you feel. And how you feel is only about your vibrational relativity, thank you, Einstein, to who you really are and what you really want.
Well, you are the best teacher, and you're my teacher, and I thank you.
And you are the experiencers of life and the calibrators that cause the expansion that we become one with, and then we hold the signal so that you can come there too, to what you have created. Really good time for a segment of refreshment.